guys, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your daily horoscope and energy reading for Friday the 11th, and the moon moves into Virgo today, and so we have a lot of energy, right? We have the sun in Virgo, we have Jupiter in Virgo, and we have the moon in Virgo. So we're talking about very critically analyzing our lives, and Virgo energy is a very diligent energy. So this is about self-empowerment as well as in your career, life, path, destiny. This will be a focus for you today. You will feel a lot of energy asking you very intense questions about where you're going. So the moon and Jupiter are going to be conjunct, and so that when energies are conjunct, that means if something sets you off emotionally, it's going to expand that emotional issue, right? Or it's going to expand your clarity in emotional issues. So, and that's going to be opposing Neptune and Pisces. So this suggests to me that you're going to have a tremendous realization in an area that is either a physical issue or a psychological issue. So this will give you enough emotional momentum, meaning enough pain associated to want to change, or discomfort at least, to maybe make that to give you such an enlightenment that you may want to actually do something about it. This could actually expand some emotional issues, right? Because anytime Jupiter is in the moon, it is expanding your emotions. So if you are at a vulnerable point today, if you are getting some realizations, if you are looking at things not so rosy, then it's going to expand the need to take care of that on an emotional level. Like, this is, you want some emotional fulfillment, and there may be something that is not emotionally fulfilling you, and you can't rose it over. You can't pretend like it's not there because Neptune is in Pisces, is in retrograde. So there's no blinders at this point. You know, there's a realization that you are at a fork in the road and that you need to make some very hardcore decisions, and these decisions need to be, they're going to have balance in mind when they do this. So for you, there's a duality in how you're feeling today and how you want to proceed. And I love this because that duality is in the 10th house. At the moment that this moon switches energies, it's going to be in Gemini generally, right? This is a general reading. So this suggests that you are looking at things from a balanced perspective. You are looking at both sides. You're weighing out, right? The energy, you're weighing out where you should go. And there's significant things that you're holding in your hands on both sides of the coin, right? If you stay where you're at, there's these benefits or these things that weigh you down, or if you move forward, there's these things where you're at and they weigh you down. So you need to take a look at it. So there's this indecisiveness about you. And for me, this suggests that there's really a lot of energy in pushing you forward with momentum in your career and life path destiny. So this is about making some changes that are very burdensome. They're very overwhelming. In fact, it looks like it might be too challenging for you to want to embark on. So let's take a look at this, because I know this has something to do with your ego. I know that you know that you're worth more than you were, and that there's a need to want to move forward. So you are willing to take on challenge, right? You are willing to overcome for a better outcome, a more stable outcome, something that has some monetary gains in it, right? But I think the challenge for you is getting your emotions to back you in wanting to make these changes, which is, I think, why we're having this realization with this moon and Jupiter, and it's opposing this Neptune and Pisces. So I think there's a need to want to make these changes. So I think what it's going to boil down to is it has something to do with your heart, with love, with romance, where you live, how you live, your financial investments in where you're living. But there's a bigger purpose. There's a broader perspective. So you are looking at all of this, and I think that's where the sweet energy lies, is you're not just taking a look at this from ego, right? You're taking a look at this from a very broad, you're taking in all the data, you're accumulating it, and you're pausing for a moment, and you're looking at the overall perspective of your life. And you're not at the point of making the decision. You're at the point of weighing everything out and getting a perspective. So this is a pause mode for you. It could be frustrating for the ones that love you in your life. If that's the case, in this Pluto and Capricorn energy quincunxing Venus and Leo, that could be somebody's pushing you, wanting you to make some decisions about moving forward, or wanting you to make a heart-based commitment. But there's so much for you to take a look at, and you just need to pull back, get a balanced perspective, really weigh everything out. And I think for many of you that has a lot to do with emotion, but you're wanting to make very precise steps in the wave of your future that really will eventually give you the gain that you need. Now, this has nothing to do with financial gain. This has something, well, I can't say it has nothing. It has, you want to look at your financial gain versus your emotional gain. What will make you feel mentally stable? That's where all of the energy is going. So, for instance, when I'm doing my channel, I'm not going to go quit my job and not pay my bills. So a lot of my schedule, a lot of my determination goes around, I'm working in overdrive 90% of the time because I'm working on my channel, plus I'm working at a full-time job, plus learning a new curriculum. So there is a balancing act that goes with that. So I never take my eye off the ball that I love what I do as far as in my channel, but I never take my eye off the ball that I love teaching, and I love to, it's like when I'm at my job, I need to be at my job, and when I'm doing my channel, I need to be here, and it's balancing out all that. There's a weighing out, and so I am at a fork in the road. I do agree, but for the most part, it is about taking a look at everything, and maybe there's a sense of working too hard for some of you, and it is causing you to quincunx out, and you're wondering if this passion is what you really should pursue. And if it's creative, or if it's, something that you're seeking fame or fortune, but you haven't been getting the recognition. I mean, there's a weighing that out. There's a Plutonian pullback on it and saying, are you worthy? And so it's getting a handle on everything. And that's a big thing on your plate. Now, what can boil down to having control and having a process over your need to prevail, to go after your life path destiny. So I think seeking knowledge at this point is very important, but there's this need to want to control your circumstance, and the way to control that is to fall back on what's comfortable and what is there. There's wisdom in where you're at right now versus a new endeavor, a new way of plugging yourself in and being too adaptable to what you're currently doing to want to embark out on your own. So I think there's just a need to get more knowledge and to talk to people that can really expand your awareness. Now, some people may be coming at you saying that you can't do it, that you're not good enough, or that you have these issues, and they define you by your past, but that is That's old energy, and that's energy that you're overcoming, and they don't need to understand your journey or your purpose or your life path destiny. That is your personal journey. You are individualizing yourself. You are in all of this Uranus and Aries energy. You are standing up. You're making big changes, and these are changes that are unpredictable. And for most people who have been in your life for a really long time, it's like they don't even know you. So don't expect them to be a strong support system in some of these dramatic changes. So you got to work diligently, and you got to do double the work, and it's burning you out. And setting up healthy routines, getting some control over your mental and physical faculties, meaning give back to yourself what you're giving. If you are, and I'm a fine one to talk at this because I work 24 hours a day, but if I were to look at the energy and I were to utilize it and I were to focus it, I would say, okay, in the morning I'm going to work out and I'm going to do yoga and I'm going to eat some really healthy food, because I'm going to maximize my engine, right? So that I can take on the burden of working 2 jobs and embarking on all this creative energy. You don't understand, when we have Venus in Leo and Mars in Leo, and they are working in conjunct, they're working right next to each other. There is a dance that they are doing that's why I'm going 20 different ways at one time. That's why all of my creative endeavors are going, 1 minute I'm saying I'm doing this, and then I'm forgetting it, and I'm changing it. And that's why you guys are seeing that. You actually are seeing the energies at play in your astrologer, right? Because I have a creative thing in my head 24 hours a day. And as soon as I get into my element, which I suggest, if you guys don't know where you want to go, and there's all these outside influences and they're all defining you, and you're at this fork in the road and you feel this new beginning, but there's a storm associated with behind it and you're feeling burdened, go get in your element. You know, for me, all my primary degrees are in Cancer, even though I'm a Leo, I'm on the cusp. And so when I need clarity, I go take a shower. I take a shower for a long time. I light some candles, I play some really nice music or some meditation music, and I go in there, and almost all of my wonderful creative clarity comes from being in my element. Today I walked outside before I did all these readings, and I asked the energies to guide me and let me guide you guys in the purest form. So it was raining, a gorgeous Pacific Northwest rainy, cloudy day here. Stuck my face up in the rain, and I just let the energy from my actual element fill in me. And I know that sounds very metaphysical, but I have to tell you that once you start tuning into this stuff, you start figuring out what does it for you, and that actually does it for me. So Saturn and Scorpio energy is at the time when this new moon switches over, it's really highlighting getting your life in control, balancing out mental well-being routines, physical well-being routines with control. And I want to tell you that if you guys don't start doing this, this is when those health conditions that I warned you about getting out of control start to get out of control and force you to start making some decisions based on your actual body's physical requirements and mental requirements. So you want to stay in balance to maximize all of the gorgeous energies that are trying to change you and manipulate you into moving forward into your 10th house career life path destiny. But you gotta be in maximum capacity, right? You gotta be giving your body the best foods, and you got to be taking some downtime. I mean, I'm trying to take a Saturday off every weekend because I don't take it all off. I mean, let's face it, I work some, but I don't work all day, and I really make myself turn off my computer and get away from things and start to do something that is pleasure-based so that it balances out all my work you know, 2 jobs and, you know, my work-life balance. So that is today's reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.